Hey guys, this is Eve with Scrapbooking with Me, and this is what we're going to make today. We're going to make a camera box, and then tomorrow on the next video we're going to make the little mini album that goes on the inside. Now we've got a little box. See, it's about 1.5 inches wide, and it's pretty tall. Let's see how tall it is. Let's just measure. This is 1.75 inches, and then it is 5 inches tall and 6.5 inches long. So this will hold a nice size mini album. So it's got the top that pulls off. There's the inside, and then we have a little handle on the side. We have some bling that we colored with just some alcohol markers, acetate on our little lens here, and then some acetate up here. And then these are just little round circles that we glued on top of each other to make the little buttons that you push. Alright, let's get into making this. Remember, all of these measurements, photos, and everything will be over on my blog, and that link will be directly below the video. Okay, you're going to start off with a piece of cardstock that is 11 1/8 by 8 1/4. You're going to score at 4 3/4. So 4 3/4 right there. And then at 6 3/8. 6 3/8 right there. Then you're going to turn it one turn, and you're going to score at 1 inch all the way down, and at 7 1/4 all the way down. Alright, let's do this one right here a little bit better, because it looks like I went off the line down here at the bottom. Alright, so this is what you have. I think you can see that on there. So let's go ahead and fold and burnish. Now, I actually got the end of the paper on this, but I'm not going to worry about it because this is going to be folded to the inside. It's not going to show. So, that way I use all of my paper. Alright, now we're going to, you're going to take your scissors, and right here on this part, you're going to cut up on that score line, and then you're just going to wedge out a little bit. So again, cut up on the score line, and then just wedge out, flip it around, turn up, wedge, just like that. So that's what you have now. Now we're going to fold these in and put some art glitter glue on them. And you can just choose which side you want to fold up. It doesn't matter which side you want to fold up first. So I just do one like that. Just make sure that the bottom of this comes straight to the bottom of that little score line right there. And then I'm just going to go over here and do the same thing. I'm going to wait about putting the other side up, and I'll show you why in just a second. Okay, now we're going to put some glue on this. So just run you a bead of glue down the edge of that. You can use score tape on this too if you want. I'm just going to use glue to make it a little bit quicker for me to put it together, but you can use score tape. Alright, then you're going to fold over just to that is right at the bottom of that score line, just like that. So make sure that those are even. Just make sure that it comes straight up the side, just like that, so that you have the same distance all the way up and down. And then I just put my bone folder in there and fold it over. we're going to do this one the same way. Just make sure that the bottom comes right even with that score line, just like that. And then on the top, you just make sure that it comes straight up and you have the same amount showing right here all the way up. Okay, so there is the bottom of our little camera box. And now we're going to do the top. Okay, this is your lid piece, and it is 9 3/8 by 4 3/4. And on the 9 3/8 inch side, you're going to score at 1.5 and at 7 7/8. 7 7/8. Okay. 1.5 and 7 7/8. And if you don't want to do 7 7/8, just flip it around and do 1.5 on both ends. And then you're going to turn it one turn, and you're going to do 1.5 and 3 1/4. Now, don't worry, like I always say, these measurements will be over on my blog with photos, so you don't have to worry about stopping and writing anything down. I always find it best if I go and watch the video and then go over and print off the instructions, come back to the video, and then as you go through, you can make it and have your instructions right there. Alright, so that's what we have right now, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut up on this. So cut straight up on your score line. Okay, cut straight up on both of those score lines, and then all you're going to do, you're not going to wedge out. You're just going to go back and just take the tiniest little sliver. All you're doing is taking that score line out. So that little teeny bit of score line right there, if you can see that little teeny bit, that's all we're going to take out of there. Just a tiny little bit. So we're taking that score line out. That's just going to leave you a little bit of a gap right there. That's it. You're going to do that to both ends. Okay, so you got your little slivers out of there. And then the way this is going to fold up is the two sides are going to come in, and then this piece is going to fold up flush at the end. That way you can't see any seams. So just like that. Alright, so let's put our glue on here. And I put a good amount of glue on this. And then just fold these in. And you can put a little glue on these if you want to fold them together. And when you bring that up, these score lines on the side should match exactly with that piece right there. So you see how that's squared up? That's what you want. Whoops. So then let's press that down really well. And then we'll do this end. So go ahead and put a little glue on this one. And then put your glue on this one. Bring those two together and then bring this one up, and just make sure that both of these sides square up just like that. Well, I keep throwing it around, dropping it. What my deal is. Can't hold on to anything today. And if you have the tiniest little bit peeking up there, just clip that off. I have just a little bit peeking up there. So see, there's your top. Now we can go ahead and put our mats on. This mat is for the front and the back is cut at 5 7/8 by 4 3/8. So we can go ahead and put those down. Now this size mat is going to leave you about 1/4 inch all the way around. If this is too much for you, or you want one a little bit larger, then just go ahead and cut it that size. It doesn't matter. This is just the size that I cut mine so that I could get a little bit more out of my paper. And then the back one is the same size. I'm just going to flip them over and run my bone folder in there to press them down. Alright, and then we have two pieces for the sides. that are cut at 4 3/8 by 1 1/4, and I'm just going to use this for the sides. This is out of our September E-Club kit. This is a beautiful paper, love it. And this is the Echo Park, no, Cartabella, sorry, Cartabella Echo Park, same difference to me. But this is the Cartabella Fall Market. That's the name of the collection. So all of you should be getting your kits that are in the E-Club kit. You should be getting your kits in just about a week. They ship out on the 6th. Okay, so we got that on the sides. Again, I'm going to go ahead and run my bone folder in there. Just make sure I press that down really well. Alright, so there is the bottom part of our box. You can cover the bottom if you want. I'm not going to on this one, but you can definitely do that. A lot of people like to cover the bottom, and that is fine. Now I have this, and I'm going to use this side for the top, for the lid. I love the pumpkins, but I think this solid, well, kind of a polka dot, will go better for the lid. And this piece is cut at 6 by 1 3/8. And then the two side pieces are cut at 1 1/2 by 1 1/8. And again, like I said, all of these measurements will be over on my blog. And I'll put that link below, so don't worry about writing anything down. There we go. And then we'll put this one on. And then the side pieces, these pieces right here, are cut at 6 by 1 1/8. And they're going to go right there. I don't know why I keep hanging my finger on all of these and jerking them around. I think I just can't do anything with my hands this morning. My hands have got a mind of their own. There we go. And this side. There we go. Isn't that cute? I love the brown and the blue together. And then there is your top. Fits perfectly on there. Okay, now it's time to turn this into a camera, since this is going to be a camera box. So what I've done is I've taken just a paper towel roll. And you know, these things are not as strong as they used to be. But I cut just a 1-inch piece off of that, and I've tried to make it kind of round. You know, when you cut it, it gets out of shape. But I've tried to make it kind of round by putting a little bottle in there and firming it up a little bit. And then I put just a piece of paper on the inside. I just cut a little 1-inch piece of this paper and then just rolled it on the inside and glued it, so that when you look down in there, you can't see that brown paper from the paper towel roll. And we're going to put that right there. So what I have done in order to be able to glue this to the box, so I have cut a circle. It is 2.5 inches, because this is 1 inch and 1 3/4 in diameter. So I cut 3 little circles that are 1 3/4. So for our little circles that fit this, we're going to put all 3 of them together. We're just going to glue them one on top of the other. Okay, just like that. So these are the same size, basically, as that. They're a little bit different, but not much. And then we're going to take these and we're going to glue them right on the center part. So we're just going to find our center and glue that on top of that part. So let's find our center as best we can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And just press that down in there. And I'll probably have to pick it up to kind of look at it. See if I'm getting it somewhere close to the center. That looks pretty good right there. And then we're just going to press those down. Okay, so that's what we have right now. Now what you want to do is take your scissors and you want to cut up to where you glued those on there, and just go around the circle, cutting out just a little bit, little bitty places like that, so this will fold up. So They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be even. They don't have to be the same size. Just so that you can fold this outer part up. Because you see, if you try to fold it up like this, you're going to get all kinds of wrinkles in it. So just clip you a few places out of there. Okay, once you have all those little pieces clipped, then you can just go ahead and fold these up right up against those little circles that you put on the inside there. Just fold them up. Just like that. And then this is going to sit down inside there. And then these are going to glue up on the edge of that. And then we're going to cover this with paper. So I am going to use score tape on this, because I know the score tape is going to grab it immediately. The wet glue is just, it's not wanting to grab. So we're just going to use score tape. And pull that backing off. Then we can sit this down in there and go again. And I'm going to try to even it up as best I can, and then press these on the side. Okay, so there we go. We've got that glued around, and that's going to go down right there. So we're going to put some score tape on the bottom of this. We're going to go ahead and take this circle, and this circle is 3 inches, and then I used just one of those little circles that I put in here. I used it to cut this center out. And then I have just roughly cut out a piece of acetate, and we're going to lay that right across there, just like that. So I'm going to use just a little bit of glue around the edge. I'm not going to use much because I don't want it coming through to the front side. So I'm going to kind of smooth it out, and then we will lay that down on there. Just like that. So there's our little lens. Alright, we're going to wait on that lens to dry just a little bit before we do anything else with it. And now I have taken a piece of paper that is 1/2 inch by 12, and I have just scored it at every 1 inch, just to make a little accordion thing here. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to put glue in here and glue these accordion pieces together. And I'll show you why in just a second. Alright, now on this top piece right here, I cut a little piece of acetate, and I cut it long enough that it would fold back under here. I think you can see that. And then fold back under this side. But just because I couldn't just glue straight acetate to the top of that, because the glue would show through. This way I can glue it down without the glue showing through. So let's see if we got that. There we go, and then we can glue this piece down. Okay, so that's what we have now. And what we're going to do with it is it's going to glue right here. And that's going to be kind of like your little lens that you have on your cameras. So we're going to glue that down right there. Let's see if we got that kind of straight. Okay, we'll let that sit there until that dries. Then we'll go back to this acetate piece, this piece that we did here, and we'll go ahead and start clipping on this piece. And we're just going to clip in, just like we did on that other one, all the way around. Alright, now we're going to run a piece of score tape around here. Then you want to lay this down on there and just lay it as straight as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect again, like we always say. And then just press these little pieces down. And you may have to go back and press them down again. You just want to press them down lightly the first time. and then go back and really press them into that score tape. Now I'm just going to lay this down and roll it just to kind of make everything stick well. You can't press real hard on this toilet paper roll because it will collapse, because like I said, they don't make them like they used to. So there is our little lens. Now you could put something down in there if you wanted to, like a flower or something like that. That would make it really interesting. I didn't think about that until just now, but if you want to do that, that would be really interesting and cute. Okay. And now we're going to put that down right there. But first we're going to put our paper around here. Okay, like that. Now I have a 1 inch by, let's see how long this is. This is 7 inches long. It's a little bit longer than what you need, but it'll work better. Doesn't hurt if you have to fold it over a little bit. And again, I'm going to go around it with score tape. Now if you're having problems getting all these pieces to stick, if you want to do this with hot glue, you can certainly do that with hot glue. And I'll tell you, those little tiny solo cups, they work good for this too. Okay, then we're just going to kind of even this up. Let's see, let's put the rough side out. And you want to kind of make sure that you get the top kind of even. If the bottom is a little off, it's not really going to show. But just kind of keep that top as even as you can up here. Now cut that little extra piece off there because I really don't need that. Now to just cover up where I might have trimmed wrong or my fold wasn't exactly right, I'm going to go around this with just some of this bling. And I'm just going to lay that right in on top. And that'll kind of cover up any imperfections that you might have. I've always said if you make a mistake, you can always cover it up with bling. Alright, so that's a nice looking lens cover, and I think I might even go around this with some of this bling. These are just some little strips of bling, and I found these one year at a, we was actually at a Made It Con, and I went to one of the stores, I don't remember what it was, around to pick up something that I had forgotten, and they had this bling there. And I'll show you in a minute. It's great, big, huge pieces of it. And so I picked up some because I think it was like $1, $1.50, something like that. Of course, around here you can't find it anywhere. And I'll probably have to put a little bit of extra glue underneath this because it's not wanting to stick good. But I'll put that under there in just a minute. Let's go ahead and put that on like that. Oh, I think that looks cute. Now let's pull the backing off of this. Go ahead and glue this down. Now I'll have to hold it up to find the place that I need to glue it. Okay, that looks about right. So I'm going to pull that top off and press that down. Just like that. Put our top back on. Oh, I like that. I think that's cute. And now what I did is I cut some circles, and these are 1-inch circles. And I just cut quite a few of them. I punched them out with a punch that I have. It's an old Creative Memories punch. And I just punched quite a few of those out. It looks like about maybe 10 or 15. And I glued them together. And we're going to glue that right here. That's going to be our little button that we press to take the photo. So we're going to put that right there. I think that looks like it's the center. And then I took my little... And I think this might be a 1/2-inch punch. Not sure. Nope. This is a little 3/8 inch punch, and it's a Stamp It Up. And I punched out a bunch of those. And I'm gonna put that right beside it, kind of back that way. Just like that. And then here is the big things of bling. I want you to look at this. Don't you know I was in bling heaven when I found those? And I have just taken my alcohol marker, the ones that I get from Arteza, and I have colored a couple of these brown to make them match my colors that I have in here. Looks like a really fall color. See how good they color up with those markers, those alcohol markers? And I will link those below. I have a discount code if you're interested in those. I love them. And they color on bling and things really, really well. So I'm going to put that one right there. And I'm going to have to put a little bit of glue under him. Even though they have glue on them, I'm going to put a little extra just so it'll stick better. And then I've colored up some of the little ones. So we're going to need one of those. And that's the good thing about buying the clear bling. You can buy clear, use your alcohol markers, and just color them whatever color you want. So there's that. Then we're going to put another couple of buttons on the front. I'm not sure exactly where all the buttons are on cameras, but we're going to put a few on here. So I did the medium. I did the medium size ones too. So we'll put one there. And one right there. Okay, I did go back and I colored these in just to make them match the other ones. I thought that looked better. They didn't stand out quite so much. And now, what would it be if we didn't put a little handle on our camera? So I think I'm going to put it on this end since I've got a lot going on this end. And I've just got one of those little bling buckles that I've had in my stash for a long, long time. And I'm going to show you how I color these up. I just take my marker and I run across the top of them. And then go kind of around the sides. And it just colors that right in. There you go. Alright, I'm going to use hot glue on this because other glue and your ribbon just don't really match sometimes, so they don't glue well. Now, I haven't let that marker dry. You need to let it dry before you fool with it. I'm going to go ahead and go, and then if I need to put more on it, I can later on. There we go. Got our little loop there. And then I'm just going to take this top off. And I'm going to put a dollop of glue right there. And then just lay this down on top of it. There we go. And then we'll put our top back on. And there you go. There is our camera box. Now tomorrow we will come back and make the mini album that goes on the inside. I'm not going to make it today because this video is already long enough, but we will come back tomorrow and make the little mini album that goes on the inside. But that's it. That is quick and easy. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and click that little bell if you want to be notified when we put up new videos. And we will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.